In just 24 hours, the United States managed to send shockwaves through the global economy. 3 times. First, tensions with the BRICS alliance. That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, spiked to dangerous new levels. Second, the world's microchip supply chain took a major hit, threatening everything from smartphones to cars. And third, one of America's closest allies made a move that hinted at a quiet economic split. 3 seismic events, all in a single day. And the consequences are already snowballing. This isn't just about headlines. These moves reveal something deeper. The U.S. economy itself is starting to wobble. India, Washington's key partner in Asia, has suddenly found itself in America's crosshairs. After refusing to follow U.S. demands, it's now facing fresh sanctions. President Trump has slapped higher tariffs on Indian goods, medicines, electronics, even diamonds. But rather than bending to U.S. pressure, this could push India further toward China and further away from the U.S. That's a big problem for Washington because India was the only BRICS nation still supporting the U.S. dollar. If it turns its back now, the dollar's dominance will take another hit. Meanwhile, Trump is demanding the world's biggest chip makers move their factories to the U.S. But instead of creating a manufacturing boom, the plan is backfiring. South Korea and Taiwan are looking elsewhere, and China is seizing the moment to supercharge its own chip industry. Trump's newest fight isn't just against China. It's against the entire BRICS alliance, with India unexpectedly first in line. He's threatening a 50% tariff on Indian goods because of New Delhi's growing trade with Russia and deeper BRICS involvement. Since the Ukraine war began, India has been buying cheap Russian oil while the West cut back. This helped India keep inflation low. But it's enraged Trump, who says India isn't acting like an ally. Here's the catch. The U.S. can't afford to lose India, especially in the medical sector. India is known as the pharmacy of the world, producing over 20% of the generic drugs used in the U.S., from cancer treatments to antibiotics to blood pressure pills. If a 50% tariff hits, drug prices will skyrocket. Hospitals will face shortages. Pharmacies will run out. Patients could delay chemotherapy or skip insulin, not out of choice, but because they can't afford it. And here's the scary part. The U.S. can't just replace India's production. Building new pharmaceutical plants would take years and billions of dollars. In India, the system already works, fast and cheap. Cut it off, and millions of Americans could lose access to life-saving medication. This isn't just an economic risk. It's a national security threat. Tariffs won't just hit medicine. Diamonds are also in the firing line. America imports $24 billion worth every year, and India cuts most of them. If Washington raises tariffs, India can simply pivot to China and Hong Kong, strengthening BRICS in the process. And that's the bigger picture. This isn't just a fight over products. It's a fight for economic influence. And the U.S. is at risk of losing ground. India also supplies IT services, textiles, electronics, all of which would become more expensive. That means higher costs for U.S. companies and consumers, pushing inflation even higher. And India isn't the only target. Brazil could be next. Trump has already accused it of currency manipulation and hit its steel exports. If he slaps tariffs on Brazilian food, soybeans, coffee, beef, chicken, U.S. grocery prices would surge overnight. China remains at the center of it all. Trump has floated a 60% tariff on all Chinese imports, hundreds of billions in goods. Everything from iPhones to T-shirts would cost more, and Beijing would almost certainly retaliate, triggering another tariff war. The result? Supply chains tighten, costs rise, and the pain lands on the very workers and families Trump says he's protecting. And while America is busy fighting trade wars, something even bigger is happening. A global energy realignment. Russia, once dependent on Europe, has found a powerful partner in China. The power of Siberia pipelines are delivering massive volumes of gas directly to Beijing at discounted rates. In return, China is locking in long-term deals for cheap oil, fueling its factories, power grids, and even its military. This is more than an energy deal. It's a geopolitical weapon, and the US is losing leverage fast. Then there's the tech front. Trump wants to cut off China from advanced semiconductors and force giants like TSMC and Samsung to manufacture in the US. But new American chip plants are delayed, over budget, and struggling with shortages. Meanwhile, China is accelerating. State-backed projects, acquisitions, and rapid innovation have allowed Chinese companies like SMIC to produce 5-nanometer chips, something many believed was impossible without US technology. Instead of slowing China down, America's restrictions are motivating it to become fully independent and potentially surpass the US in AI and military tech. But perhaps the most surprising twist? Japan. America's most loyal ally in Asia is quietly making moves on its own. Tokyo has signed major deals with India, a BRICS member, and is expanding cooperation with Brazil. It's deepening ties with China in electric vehicles and green tech, and even hinting it might cut its US bond holdings. If Japan, the cornerstone of Washington's Asia strategy, starts to pull away, the question becomes, what is American influence built on now? The global balance is shifting fast. Allies are hedging their bets. Rivals are rising. And while Washington plays hardball economics, the rest of the world is busy rewriting the rules. The question isn't how bold Trump's plan is. It's whether America can afford the cost of losing the rest of the world. If you want to stay ahead of these global shifts, make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. Big changes are coming, and you'll want to know the moment they happen.